Hello, this is Damien McFitness again. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to play Assassin's Creed Origins on the Xbox in the exercise bike here. Yeah, welcome to my channel. If you're new, what this channel is about is getting exercise while playing video games, because gyms suck and everybody knows it. Unless they're a masochist who likes being miserable on purpose. And so we need, as a society, we need to come up with funner ways to exercise. And the one that I like is trying to play video games while exercising. So my controller is a little... This usually goes away, there it goes. For some reason at first it looks drifty, so the controls drift, my homemade controls, but usually that goes away after a while. So yeah, this that I'm using right now, it's called the VIR Zoom. It's a horrible name. Exercise bike, and it was for gaming specifically. But it came with some boring mini games that I got sick of right away. I don't want to go there. I don't care about that. So I cut off the bottom of the controller and put PVC pipe on it, and I put the thumbstick bumper trigger on here, so I have a full Xbox controller control set on the bike, so that I can play funner, like games that I would be playing anyway. It's been a while since I've played this game, so I don't remember what I'm doing here. So this is one of my favorite games, and I bought it because during the stay-at-home virus, I bought a Xbox Series X and a fancy TV. It's what's it called? OLED. So I rebought this game because I love games with beautiful scenery. I mean, they have to be fun too, but I really love being like immersed in like a scenic world like this, and I wanted to see how beautiful it was in the in 4K with the OLED TV. I'm not going to try to accomplish much in the game here, like super impressive, because for one thing, I have it on hard difficulty, which kind of isn't the best way for the exercise bike. For one, it's just awesome just looking at the scenery. This is the most beautiful game I think I've ever played. Well, I know it is. And it's one of my favorite games. But anyway, I bought it for the Xbox Series X as like the Assassin's Creed triple pack, because it said enhanced for 4K. But it was misleading. I'm trying to remember where all the controls are. Because it said that the triple pack was enhanced for 4K, but it was only the Viking one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The other ones weren't actually enhanced, so I thought it was misleading. So, I was a little pissed off about that this technically isn't 4K. So I felt like they advertised it falsely. But they did make, over time, they made the Odyssey 4K enhanced after I bought it. So hopefully one day they'll do that for this too. But it still looks really darn beautiful, the scenery. You're probably not seeing it quite as good on my Twitch.
Sandstorm coming.
I did keep the music on. Hopefully I don't get a strike on Twitch for music. I don't know if they'll do that for them. In-game. Oops, missed. In-game music without vocals. No strike for that. I was going to Google that, but I forgot. Anyway, this game controller, this is my favorite one. I have another one that I built for the treadmill, and I've been building one for my rowing machine. I've been sort of lazy on that. In fact, I haven't done anything with it since I started this Twitch streaming a couple weeks ago. But yeah, so this one I can play decently, whereas the treadmill one, it's your whole body's moving as you're walking, your upper body, so it's hard to control it very well. So I was playing like games that don't require that much controller skill. Why I wasted arrows on that bird. First I thought it was a coyote. I keep getting scatterbrained about what I'm talking about. But yeah, this exercise bike works pretty darn good for playing the games. So I can play a game like this where there's aiming and fighting enemies pretty decently. If I keep it on the hard setting, I'll probably die more often than I would like, because the controls aren't that great. I don't want to fight all these people. I just want to get to my target. Normally I would just kill everybody in like an enemy camp if I'm wandering through it just for fun. But not with the exercise bike right now. So I'm probably about halfway through the game, I think, on this save. Yeah, this is my favorite Assassin's Creed game. I never played the earlier ones. This is the first one I played. And then I played Odyssey and... why am I blanking on the Viking one? Valhalla. But this one is my favorite because it's just so much more visually beautiful. And the gameplay is harder in a good way. Like Odyssey, you're just always getting the loot, like the shields and the swords and stuff. You're just getting like hundreds of them, and you always have to buy and sell things at the vendors, because otherwise you fill up with gear. And it's not as hard. You can get ranked up so high that it's almost impossible to die. And the enemies don't chase you too, that's the other thing. If you're getting low on health, most of the time in Odyssey, you can just run away.
Whoa.
And you're fine. But not so much with this one, because they have a bunch of guys on horseback, which will chase you. Not in every region, in every scenario, but enough that it keeps it difficult. And you can't gear up to where you've got like unlimited ammo with this. You're always sort of running out of arrows, but not like too annoyingly. So Odyssey gets sort of too easy and too much monotony with loot grinding and the one thing I do like about Odyssey is that there's always like new mini quests, side quests popping up. Why don't I see any of the leopards? Oh, there they are. I don't remember if the top health bar, the top is health or the bottom is health. Might help to know that. Okay, the bottom is health. Did I miss? Because of that stupid log there? Yeah, this could be a little harder, because although that higher ranking leopard did take like half of my health there, so I could have died from that one. But the other leopards are pretty weak. But yeah, so this one doesn't get too easy immediately, where you can just kill everybody without any risk, without any tension, like Odyssey does, and Valhalla also does. Valhalla, the visuals are ugly. It's like England and like everything's dreary and it just sucks visually. And also there's no side quests. Well, there are a few, but they don't regenerate. So eventually, like, the whole map is like dead with nothing to do. And it gets that way even while you're in the, not even before you beat the game. You end up like on your horse for like 3 or 4 minutes with no quests, side quests
Speak to
to turn to if you're getting bored.
He's likely at the Great Temple.
So I don't like Valhalla because it's barren. It's barren and ugly. But this one is my favorite. Even though they ripped me off with the 4K misleading ad on the Xbox store. I should pedal faster than that. So if you haven't watched before, on the bottom I have Zwift, which is a virtual bicycling game. I don't know if he's going to attack me. or not.
It is beautiful, but it
Maybe
stinks
not.
of the battlefield or a tomb.
The one thing that I would like these Assassin's Creeds, and they sort of, Valhalla was another one, they sort of hinted that they would have like puzzles like Tomb Raider, like it'd be hard to find loot and stuff. You'd have to like solve puzzles like in tombs and stuff, but no, not at all really. Not compared to, there's not one puzzle that compares it to a Tomb Raider puzzle in that game or in any of the other Assassin's Creeds.
Perhaps we forgot some part of the ritual.
I will vomit if I hear more. Have no doubt of this. If our child dies, I die.
No, my Lotus, do not speak like that.
I must go to the seer's house. Leave me be.
That's not me, that's a different character. I think.
High Priest,
I'm sorry.
That's the character you're playing.
I have
the
come
one
to
with
seek
the
the
hood.
lizard.
Oh, the lizard. One more affliction for Memphis. The city withers in the darkness of a curse. Disease, pestilence, the poison stink of the air.
Oh, he's like a target that I'm supposed to
The
kill.
ape is ghoul-sickened nearly unto death. Gods have abandoned us. The people look to me for guidance, but I am as lost as they.
Hush!
Apis, how have we wronged you?
Hush!
The curse touches even my own house. My wife, Timehotep, has miscarried 3 times this year. She's with child again, but if she loses a 4th...
I will look into this curse.
My wife's seer can help. His house is to the southwest.
If the gods are responsible, I will kneel beside you as they strike us down.
So the stories on the Assassin's Creeds are all, the latest 3 Assassin's Creeds are all okay. I think people like the older ones better, but I never played those. So this is... Another good thing about this game, this Assassin's Creed, is you can't get so healthed up where you can just fall anywhere and not get hurt from falling. So you have to be careful around heights and stuff,
So, you would
which I
have me
think is
work a
kind of
spell
a good thing.
to send you a true seeing.
Yes, wise one.
Not get too healthed up.
It is
Grow, O light! Come forth, O light!
My child!
Oh! You have come at last.
Who is this man?
He is the deliverer. Many years I have waited for him.
What?
Quick! Help me dream my child away from death.
Let us proceed with the ritual. Bring me the cauldron. I am the master of secret things. The form of the soul that rests
My lady cannot
in the
hear
heavens.
you. She has gone to the moist land.
I am servant to the great
Moist
God,
land, that's
who
good.
gives light exceedingly. I am the companion of the flame, in whose mouth Sothis, reveal yourself here today and answer me without falsehood. Let your eyes be opened. Devoid of moisture, come forth from the stream. Sothis, let their eyes be opened.
Let your eyes be opened.
Oh. I hope it's not the part that I think it is. Shit. I don't want to have to play this part on the exercise bike.
Let's keep my mouth closed.
This is a part where I think you fight a supernatural thing in your dreams. If it's the part that I think it is. Because I played this a few years ago, before the big virus.
What is this God's forsaken place? Is someone there? What is that? Some kind of tomb?
This is probably the hardest part of the game. If it's the battle when you're on the canoe.
Or be swallowed by the desert.
Maybe this isn't it. Because I don't see water yet.
That shadow. That is the Soul Eater. Oh, you doorkeepers who guard your portals, who swallow souls and who gulp down the corpses of the dead. What a journey I have
so
made.
amazing in this.
The things I have seen. I am but one of you.
I saw a BBC video, British television, about traveling up and down the Nile on a boat. And between that and this game, I really want to go to Egypt before I die. I think it's probably the most beautiful place in the world, the Nile and all the ruins and stuff of Egypt. In fact, I even thought about going. There's some Egypt sort of alt science YouTubers, like fringe science YouTubers, and they do Egypt tours. And I thought about signing up for one during the past year. But it'd just be such a hassle with getting... I am vaxxed, but getting all of the... you still need a COVID test like the day before you fly. And countries might not let you in if it flares up right before you want to go, or you might get stuck there. I just didn't want to deal with it. I guess this isn't the one on the boat. There's a different supernatural thing at some point where you're on a boat that's moving. And I think that one's a little harder. But I still think I'm going to die a few times. I might not be able to do it on the exercise bike. crap,
Anubis,
I am on the boat.
Lord of the Dead. Did that crazy old fool poison me? Ah! Poison.
Might die before I even get a single shot off. Where is it?
You will not devour my heart!
Sometimes he sticks his head up and you can shoot him.
I take the bow! I sweep the sky with it! Ra! Protect me!
He won't swing a sword, he doesn't have a sword.
I am he who drives off the destructive sun.
I hit him once.
I am he who knots the cord and lashes the shrine together.
I think
I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
I think you might have to beat him in a certain amount of time too. I'm definitely gonna fail at that.
You will not devour my heart.
Yeah, I might have to.
I am he who drives off the destructive one.
I might have to save to get out of this. Because, this takes a lot of tries to beat, even with good controls. And last time I played, I was on easy with a normal controller.
Anubis,
It
Lord
still
of the
took
Dead.
me hours and days to
Did
beat
that
it.
crazy old fool poison me?
I don't think there's a pattern about where he pops up. You just gotta keep...
Poison. I am he who drives off the destructive one. I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it. Ra, protect me.
God damn it, I hit the damn button. It takes him like 3 seconds to load up the bow. Maybe if I just keep it loaded like this.
I am he who knots the cord and lashes the shrine together. You will not devour my heart. I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
Hit the goddamn button, but he fell already.
I am he who drives off the destructive one.
could cheat and go grab a normal controller.
You will not devour my heart! I am he who drives off the destructive one.
Yeah, he's right next to me and I still miss him.
You will not devour my heart! So up it can be hot.
I'm just standing in the poison there.
I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
See, it's so long he takes to
I am he who drives off the destructive one. You will not devour my heart!
I hit him once there, I think. At least I have unlimited ammo, I think. See, I can't fine-tune my aim
I
that
take
well.
the bow.
It's
I
thumbstick.
sweep the sky with it.
So I miss, and then I tap the thumbstick, and then I'm aiming too far the other way. Whereas it would be trivial with the actual thumbstick.
You will not devour my heart! I am he who drives off the destructive one. I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
I can't even hit him when he's like inches from me there.
You will not devour my heart.
It's so frustrating.
I am he who drives off the destructive one. I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
I I don't think there's a pattern of like where he goes here.
He is weakening.
Oh, that's progress, I guess.
You will not devour my heart! I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
Yeah, I'm not following at all.
I am he who drives off the destructive one.
Got him in the tail there.
I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
Got him like 4 times now.
I am he who drives off the destructive one.
I think you might get hit for a while to recover here.
You will not devour my heart!
There we go.
I am he who drives off the destructive one.
I don't think he was even on that side of the map.
Hurts, doesn't it? You will not devour my heart! I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it.
Let's see. Oh,
You will not devour my heart.
I looked right at him and I didn't see him. This is visually beautiful though. This even the afterlife things like this, and then the DLC when you're in the afterlife, it's really beautiful.
I am he who drives off the destructive one.
Okay, I think I got far enough to where it'll save, it'll restore from that. So he'll be half dead when I...
You will not claim me, destructive one! Chaos Sea! You will feel the Sun God's wrath! I am the great one within his eye!
I think I hit him once.
It is not my time yet!
Good thing his health doesn't regenerate like mine does. Got him.
I am the great one within his eye!
Walk into poison.
You will not claim me, destructive one! It is not my time yet! You will feel the Sun God's wrath! Return to the Chaos Sea!
Uh-oh. I was just standing in the poison. I got him a lot right there, but I was standing in the poison.
I will not go into the Valley of Darkness! You will feel the Sun God's wrath! It is not my time yet! You will not claim me, destructive one!
Oh,
I need to get to solid ground.
Oh, I must have beat him enough to where environment is getting
Return to the Chaos Sea!
there. It's right above me, I think.
It is not my time yet!
I just don't see him anywhere.
You will not claim me, destructive one!
There he is. Not sure what button recover is, so I just mashed all the buttons. There it is.
I am the great one within his eye! Return to the Chaos Sea!
Got him.
I am the great one within his eye!
Oh great, my controller is drifting.
You will not claim me, destructive one!
Shit.
It is not my time yet!
I was doing good over here.
Return to the Chaos Sea!
Oh, yeah, he does turn into rubber. I'm not really able to use powers. I got him once there.
You will feel the Sun God's wrath!
Damn it. What are you doing?
You will not claim me, destructive one!
He might have been shooting. It didn't look like he was shooting.
Return to the Chaos Sea!
I should have just stood there.
You will feel the Sun God's wrath! I am the Great One within his eye. It is not my
5
time
seconds
yet.
too late for that.
You will feel the Sun God's wrath.
He just stayed there. Why did he just stand there? I was pulling over, I swear.
Return to the Chaos Sea.
He doesn't eat you, he just kisses you.
You will not claim me, destructive one.
Ah, shit.
I am the Great One within his eye.
I think I'm healed.
It is not my time yet.
I have no idea where it is. Well, at least I got a hit in. Just standing there.
You will feel the Sun God's wrath.
Poison.
You will not claim me, destructive one.
He went right where I was aiming.
Return to the Chaos Sea.
Shit. Well, at least I've healed. There it is.
It is not my time yet.
Did I hit him? I'm not sure if I hit him at all in that exchange. There it is.
I am the Great One within his eye.
Almost. I got him a good 3-4 times there.
You will feel the Sun God's wrath. will destroy you! Die, Sword Eater! Be gone!
Ha! I didn't think I could do that on the exercise bike. Start actually pedaling now. That I got past the hard part. Oh, so my weight, I did weigh myself this morning. I am 229. Last time I wasn't sure if I'd lost a pound yet. Because I didn't weigh myself that day. But yeah, I did lose a pound. Although I went to the doctor the other day and they measured 232. But I had clothes on and shoes on and stuff. So I'm not counting that. I got, yesterday at the doctor, I got my third COVID shot on one arm and my flu shot on the other arm. So I got 2 shots.
I have traveled through the tomb,
And
dark and lonely ground.
at first the COVID arm was a little more sore, but then the flu one was sore. I think they're about the same. And I never had any adverse reactions to the COVID shots the first time or today that I noticed. And I did sleep in a little later, but that's probably not because of the shot. But yeah, I was at the doctor anyway, and I see where the wind's blowing, so I asked for the second or the third COVID dose shot, the booster, even though they're not giving them mandatory for my age group yet. And they said, yeah, they could.
My child lives.
Just because I don't want to have to go to the
Praise to
doctor
the gods.
again. So I was already
What
there
do you see?
for a physical.
Your
Decided to get the
enemy
third
and
COVID
hers
shot.
are the same. Refuse. The temple food, he who prepares it, poisons your womb with flesh of the dead. Go and slay the poisoner and lift Memphis out of evil.
Praise to him who will deliver us all.
I don't remember any of the characters' names. They're so complicated. Perish and Empat about Timotep. Even if they weren't complicated, I still wouldn't remember them. There's too many.
My love. Are you well?
Better for seeing your face.
After you beat the game, you can play some of the other characters. Like you can play as the wife
There's
there,
a strangeness
but she
in
still
your
has
eyes.
Bayek's like
What
little
afflicts
voice.
you?
Like they didn't have
Dreams.
a female voiceover,
Of our son.
Bayek.
The High Priest's wife has
but
been
you can
poisoned.
play.
Her seer claims that
dozen
her poisoner
characters.
is our enemy.
The lizard.
But it's just
I
a
believe so.
the
visual
Apis bull is
thing,
also
so
at the
it's
point of
stupid.
death. Let's go to the temple. We can speak more of your dreams on the way.
But it is fun to like play as like a little
Come, we'll take a boat
kid
for
or
speed. So,
and just
how does it feel to be Magi to the whole
destroy
of Egypt?
everybody
Like
because it's
trailing
just
after
so
an ant colony sometimes.
unrealistic.
But I am proud to serve those in need.
As am I. And proud to serve the Queen.
Have you spoken to the High Priest?
Yes, in advance of the Queen's arrival.
She's coming to Memphis.
Yes?
The exiled ruler appears in the heart of old Egypt. That'll set the young Ptolemy on notice.
It lifts my heart to see you, Bayek.
Aya, you are the one joy left in my life.
I like the river.
I want you at my side again.
I am bound
It's
to
so
the Queen's
beautiful
service.
too in this game
And our
compared to
bond?
the other Assassin's
It
Creed.
means as much as ever. But we have seen the Order's evil now.
We can fight it, shoulder to shoulder.
I've promised the Queen.
What has she done for you that I have not?
She lifts my gaze to the horizon. I will never stop mourning what we lost. Never. But I must make a world that is larger than our griefs, so that no mother ever again lives what I have lived.
After I killed the lizard,
After you kill the lizard, I will leave Memphis.
then I will follow. Let us hunt together, as we did before.
You said dreams troubled your mind. Do you want to tell me of them?
No. I would rather not burden you.
We will need to speak of it someday, once the sands have settled.
Once the sands have settled. When will that be?
Soon, I hope.
Hey, come here, you! Now!
Where should we begin?
Check the god's enclosure. I'll speak to the priestesses.
Of course. Give me the dung heap job. The best way out is through. Bitch bits. Half my father's herds died because of this. I should search the place where the god's food is stored. I will have you soon, poisoner.
Is that the same one?
The best way out is through.
Yeah.
Hey, do you feed the Apis bull?
No. Them girl priestesses take care of all of that.
Do you know where his fodder is kept?
In that building over by the stairs. But they shut it up last week when the bull got sick.
My thanks. The bull's sickness could come from his food. But it is too soon to say. I need more evidence. Peach pits. If the Apis bull was fed with these, that would explain his sickness. And the necklace here. One of the twin priestesses wore something like it. Let us see if the other is missing a weight from around her neck.
I do sort of like the investigation thing. It's not challenging as a player, but if it was, I would never figure anything out. I think there's a bunch of snakes down there. Yeah, I think it's killing some of these snakes. They're hissing. for that to die down. And then now I can go down. Yeah, I'll 1, 2, 3 snakes. Must be another one somewhere. I can hear him hissing. Light that thing. I can find the snakes. Sometimes there's snakes in those jars. A little rusty on the controls. Come on. Nobody wants to watch me try to light a stupid, still didn't light. Guess I'm out of the danger of the snakes. Maybe. This way or this way? I don't think it matters much. I like the bow in this one too. The long distance bow. It's just so smooth, like the way it shoots and the way it slows time, and it just feels like it feels right. Like well-made dynamics of and whatnot. That's one thing that's odd about the Assassin's Creed games is that everybody, like the peasants, just like push each other out of the way, and it seems like everything's like rude and everybody's mean. And it sets like a tone of like hostility. I guess maybe it makes it easier to kill people. if they're always pushing you and people diving out of the way of other people, and maybe they put that in there to make it easier to not feel bad for just killing a bunch of people. First time I played the game, I was a little put off by it. Well, that time I pushed him. It just felt like, why do I want to play a game where everybody's an asshole? And
At the ready.
I don't know. Like, I think that sort of subconsciously sinks in sometimes. Like,
I am a servant
the
of the
tone of
This
what you're living
is
in.
a subtle way of poisoning an animal.
Like social media and stuff too. Like
My sisters,
Twitter.
this is surely an accident.
One, maybe. But not a bushel.
We
What's
have to
that
save
NA?
Patratus!
That's weird.
Our brother!
And the
Bandits
Zwift on the
ripped him
bottom.
away from us as we walked in the market. They forced us to poison the god. They told us they were going to feed our brother to crocodiles in the sweet. We have not slept through the night since. I'm so sorry. We had no choice. We never...
Their makeup is swearing. Because they're crying. It makes sense.
Something's wrong. These are not curses.
The Order is surely behind this. Go to the Temple of Hathor without me. The twins cannot be left alone. Quickly, to the Temple of Hathor.
Please find our brother.
They didn't look like twins. One of them looked a lot shorter than the other one, the girls there, who were crying. See, there was a little bit of fall damage there, which I think is good. Doesn't make it too easy. Yeah, look at the scenery of this. It's just amazing. I'm gonna go, because I'm almost done for the day. I'm gonna actually pedal faster here to get some exercise in.
Out of the way!
And then I'm just gonna get on a boat and just enjoy the scenery. See, if these games like this had more of a
Move now!
like, if they had more of like stuff you could do, like they were always inventing like games you could play with like real people at the vendors, and like you could claim a house in like a multiplayer online world that looked like this, and you could like, this to me would be like with the ideal like multiverse, like a themed area like this, where you could just go on quests if you wanted, or you could interact with real people, and just hang out with them and play like some Egyptian game of like which is like a backgammon type game that I saw on YouTube. Like a Egyptian themed board game, or like a Egyptian themed like crocodile hunting thing. Or you could even have like a stupid like farming sim where you're farming on the Nile, like you're racing a boat on the Nile, you're looking for treasure together. Just lots and lots of like ever-evolving stuff to do in such a beautiful world like this. That would be awesome. You could just have a bunch of different themes of like, what's the term again? Not multiverse. I just said it a minute ago. The Mark Zuckerberg thing. The virtual metaverse. How can I forget a word that I just said 2 minutes ago? towards alligators and stuff near all of these. I think he's dead though, that one. Just floating there, dead alligator. I can check like this with the eagle. Yeah, there's something there. That still looks like the dead one. Why is it jumping? Why is it splashing next to... Oh well, I'm gonna go down here. But you can get surrounded by a couple hippos in the water here, and there's no way out. They just kill you like right away. Oh come on, he won't climb up. He'll just stand there. There's one. Oh good, I got him. I thought he was going to go that way. But he turned around and it still got him. That's good. But you can normally get away from one hippo at a time. Or just hack at it. But 2 or 3 of them surround you, and when you're deep in the water, you're just dead. No matter what your health bar is at. I think this strikes, like I said before, it strikes a balance of difficult enough where it doesn't get too boring, but not so hard that you're dying all the time and it's frustrating. I think that's... Yeah, something about the, oh, how do I go fast again? Not that. A, B. Yeah, something about the contrast. It's got the bright blue water, not right here, but some places. It's got the beautiful desert, like mountainy areas, and it's got the bright green palm trees and trees and stuff. And just the contrast of the desert versus the water versus the trees. It's just so gorgeous. And it's not that far from the actual Egypt Nile River documentary that I saw. Like, they beautify it a little bit in the game, but the reality is pretty darn close to as beautiful as the game. Yeah, they'll even attack you when you're on the boat. Documentary I saw was like a modern day, like not a cruise ship, but like a riverboat. So it wasn't like these little micro boats down these little estuary rivers. It's still beautiful. Well, it says I've gone 6.5 miles on the bike. It feels like I haven't been pedaling for squat, but 6.5 miles isn't too bad.
Whoa.
I'm gonna finish on the bottom on the Zwift. I'm in a speed area because it's counting up my time like that. So I'm gonna finish that out and then call it a day. How do I save? Save the game. I think it auto saves anyway. Character, maybe? No. Options. Well, maybe the... Oops. I know there's a way to save. So these are people. The crocodile, the lizard, the hippo. Do. 2 ability points. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. And options. Menu. It's gotta be menu. Don't remember how to save. There's got to be a way to save because you can create multiple saves in at different progress points. Why am I not seeing the obvious here? I'm still in. I forgot about the little straightaway running thing. Like 305 is the guy who was going like super fast. And because I stopped pedaling, it'll probably be like 5 minutes for me. What does it say if I just say quit? It doesn't say. Doesn't even give you the option to reload quest objective. I guess you don't save on the Xbox One, it just exits. It just auto saves. Maybe you can only pick like a saved game when you start. Lizard's mask. Well, it has today's date on it, so it must have saved at some point. Well, so I'll call it a night. Yeah, I'm still on that speed area. So yeah, let me think if there's anything progress about my builds. So I haven't done anything with the Roaring Machine game controller. I did mention before that I wanted to that years ago I had played a game called Road Redemption with this bike before I made the modifications to the hand controls, and that I had managed to get it to work so my pedaling affected the game, and that I could swing the Vive controllers and I could lean and steer, and everything worked perfect except I didn't have enough buttons on the controls to do a turbo mode on this VIR Zoom bike, because it only had the 4 buttons on the top and then a trigger. It didn't have thumbsticks and bumpers on the ends or anything, so it didn't have enough controls to fully play the game. So I did finally figure out how to obtain the biking speed and get it onto the PC. What happened was I was missing a dongle. So this doesn't actually use Bluetooth to talk to the PC, even though Bluetooth will find it in a Bluetooth query scan for hardware items. But it uses a dongle, which uses like a proprietary something or other protocol. And I found that, and I was able to get the speed off of the bike. So I can, what I can do is I can use, for the treadmill game controller just off frame here, I create like I use a PC program called Xbox or X360 CE to create like a virtual Xbox controller on the PC, and Steam will recognize it as an Xbox controller and allow you to play the game. I can do the same thing to get the speed from the pedaling into a PC game, but I couldn't get that same program to detect the Vive, the VR headset, like when I'm leaning or when I'm moving this stick. And what I think happened was that this company, I think, went on a business or that made this bike. They're not maintaining their software, and so the latest Steam has a VR software developer kit. To be like an open VR, I think they call it. And you can, as a programmer, you can write programs to access the sensors of the controllers and the headset. But I think they modified the OpenVR programming interface, because I found an open source program online that somebody wrote the code of it, and I was looking through the code, and they were using OpenVR, and there were some bugs in that code where the OpenVR interface, programming interface, changed. Like some of the argument order in the function calls was backwards, like they switched it around. And I think that's what broke the bike utility. So it doesn't work with the VR headset anymore. I think that's probably what happened, and they haven't maintained it. And I can't get the source. I might be able to email the company to get the source code for the PC end of the exercise bike thing, but I don't know. I think I can. One of my goals now then is to eventually, looking at the open source code that I found that used the VR headset handles, to basically a guy wrote a program to use them as like a flight stick, so you hold them like a steering wheel and you can fly a plane. I don't want to do that specifically. I just want to be able to get the swing, detect the swings or detect the button presses or detect the leaning, to play the motorcycle game where you whack people with clubs and stuff. So I think if I study that code and work with it eventually, I'll be able to get that to work. But it won't work with this. This is the Xbox controller So I'll have to get it to work with the PC custom controller like I did on the treadmill, because this doesn't simulate an Xbox controller on the PC. It is an Xbox controller on the PC. So if I simulate a second Xbox controller for the pedaling data and for the leaning of the Vive, then I would have to coordinate 2 Xbox controllers in the Steam program. So some of the controls would come from the real Xbox controller, like here, and some of them would come from the pedaling or the leaning from the virtual Xbox controller. And I don't know how to do that, or if you can do that. But I already know that you can do it with my treadmill setup. You can combine like several data inputs for custom controllers into one virtual Xbox controller. So I actually had the idea to put this Xbox on the treadmill so I can reach the treadmill handles to get some of the game controls from that, and then some of the game controllers will come from the pedaling, and then some of them will come from me swinging the Vive stick and leaning. So eventually, like months from now, maybe I'll do that. But I started looking at the code and like just getting my computer set up to build the code. I spent a couple hours and it was a pain in the ass, and brings back nightmares about being a software developer. In the next couple days I have to do like prepare for a couple open mic comedy shows, so I'm not going to do that much. So as of and I did order the omnidirectional treadmill. It was on sale. I talked about it last time. I was thinking about, do I want to upgrade my 11-year-old computer, or do I want to buy an omnidirectional treadmill? So I decided to buy the treadmill and bought it. It was $1,100 plus $200 shipping. So it's expensive, and it won't be here until December, they said. So it'll take over like a month and a half, 2 months to get here. So yeah, so I'll be working on slowly getting the rowing machine bike controller to work, building it, and then getting the exercise bike to work with the custom Python OpenVR to play the motorcycle game like I used to, where you'd swing your arms and whack the other players. So I would use the Vive controllers, but I wasn't using the Vive. I wasn't in VR. It's not a VR game. So the setup that I had was kind of wonky, like a hacked setup of a bunch of different things. So I need to do that again, but a different way. Hack everything together. Oh, and I have there's a hobbyist electronics store called Adafruit. And I bought some position sensors for like $20 a piece that you can like put on your body to help you play video games or make your own like fitness tracker. And they've got software on them. You can put them on your feet and it'll count the steps, so you don't have to code all of that yourself. That's why it's $20 and not $5. But you've got to build like a little circuit to get that data out. Like it doesn't have a Bluetooth thing on it. So I might decide, okay, all I need for if I'm going to play the motorcycle game not in VR, and I want to know when I'm leaning so that it'll turn the bike, I could use that instead of holding the VR headset to my chest and not even wearing it, to get the position sensor that way, which is what I was doing. So, and since I already have this heart rate sensor here on my chest, I figure maybe I can clamp the sensor here, so it'll, I should hide my gut, so it'll detect when I'm leaning. Might stick out annoying amount, like whatever case that I build it in. So I might decide to do that instead of the OpenVR Steam thing to play the motorcycle game. But it'll all involve coding. It'll take forever. I probably shouldn't even be talking about things I'm gonna do, because I might not ever get around to it. But yeah, that's the idea of the channel. That I'm gonna gradually be building more things, and you can see how I did it. If you're at all into electronics, like you took a robotics thing in high school or an electronics thing, or even you've like hacked computers, like built your own computer, you might be able to do it yourself. So it's not like Mark Rober, like NASA level quality. It's like DIY stuff you can copy. And so yeah, we'll see where this goes, and hopefully I'll come up with things more impressive than this. I want to eventually buy a 3D printer, and we'll see where this channel goes. But yeah, I want to be able to do lots of fun things and while exercising with these homemade game things over time. But I'll let you go. I still haven't came up with a sign-off slogan, but thanks for watching. If you're watching, keep exercising and having fun while exercising. Gyms are evil. Fitness gaming rules. Good night.